Gold has always captivated humanity. Wars have been fought over it, economies built on it, and dreams made from it. But few stories surrounding gold are as perplexing as the mystery of missing gold reserves, a real-life enigma that has puzzled economists, historians, and investigators alike. This is the story of how billions of dollars in gold vanished without a trace, leaving questions about corruption, conspiracy, and government mismanagement. The story begins in 2011 when the world watched in shock as the Libyan government collapsed following a violent civil war and the death of longtime leader Muammar Gaddafi. Among the chaos and confusion, an intriguing mystery began to emerge: Libya's gold reserves, worth billions of dollars, had seemingly disappeared. This real-life enigma has baffled investigators and fueled speculation about corruption, smuggling, and international conspiracies. How does an entire nation's gold go missing? And who was responsible? Libya, like many oil-rich nations, had accumulated substantial gold reserves during Gaddafi's 4 decades of rule. By the time of the uprising in 2011, the Libyan central bank reportedly held around 143 tons of gold, valued at more than $7 billion. Gold has always been a crucial part of Libya's economic strategy. It provided a safeguard against international sanctions and a hedge against the volatility of the global oil market. But as Libya descended into civil war, so did the security of its national assets. As NATO-backed rebels closed in on Gaddafi's regime, reports began to surface that significant amounts of gold had been removed from the central bank's vaults in Tripoli. According to insiders, Gaddafi's loyalists had transported the gold to unknown locations, possibly to fund his attempts to hold on to power. Witnesses claimed to have seen convoys of trucks leaving the capital under the cover of darkness, heading toward southern Libya or even across international borders. Theories about the missing gold quickly began to swirl. One of the most persistent rumors suggested that much of the gold had been smuggled out of the country and sold on the black market. Gold is a valuable and untraceable commodity, making it an ideal asset for financing clandestine operations. Intelligence reports hinted that some of Libya's gold might have ended up in neighboring African nations, such as Chad or Niger, where it could be exchanged for weapons or political support. Another theory posited that the gold was hidden within Libya itself. Gaddafi was known for his secretive nature and his penchant for underground bunkers and hidden caches. During his rule, he had created an elaborate network of secure facilities across the country. Could the missing gold be hidden in one of these bunkers, waiting to be discovered? As the dust settled after Gaddafi's death, the newly formed Libyan government faced the daunting task of piecing together the nation's shattered finances. Investigators began searching for the missing gold, but the lack of accurate records and the chaotic state of the country made their task nearly impossible. Complicating matters further, some of Gaddafi's former allies were now part of the new government, raising questions about whether they had a vested interest in keeping the gold's location a secret. In the years following the war, international organizations and investigative journalists continued to dig into the mystery. Reports from the United Nations and other watchdog groups highlighted the ongoing looting of Libya's natural resources, including its gold reserves. Smuggling networks, often controlled by militia groups, were thriving in the absence of a strong central government. Libya had become a hub for illicit trade, with gold flowing out of the country alongside weapons, drugs, and human trafficking victims. By 2016, new evidence suggested that at least some of Libya's gold had found its way to Dubai, a major hub for the global gold trade. Dubai's bustling gold markets are notorious for their lack of transparency, making them an attractive destination for smuggled goods. Traders in the city reported an influx of Libyan gold during the years following Gaddafi's fall, but tracing its origins proved nearly impossible. Meanwhile, the political instability in Libya continued to hinder efforts to recover the gold. The country remained deeply divided, with rival governments and militias vying for power. Each faction accused the others of stealing the nation's wealth, further complicating the search for the missing reserves. Amid the infighting, the plight of ordinary Libyans, struggling with poverty, unemployment, and a collapsing economy, was largely forgotten. one of the most compelling leads in the case emerged in 2017 when a former Libyan official claimed to have knowledge of the gold's location. According to his account, a significant portion of the reserves had been hidden in remote desert regions of southern Libya, close to the borders with Chad and Niger. The official suggested that tribal leaders in the area were guarding the gold, possibly in exchange for payments or favors from Gaddafi loyalists. While this theory sparked renewed interest, logistical and security challenges made it nearly impossible to verify. The mystery of Libya's missing gold has drawn comparisons to other cases of vanishing national treasures. During the Iraq War in 2003, for example, significant amounts of gold disappeared from Iraq's central bank amid the chaos of the US-led invasion. Similarly, during World War II, Nazi Germany looted gold from occupied countries, much of which has never been recovered. In each case, the disappearance of gold underscores how political upheaval and war create opportunities for corruption and theft on a massive scale. In the case of Libya, the missing gold is more than just an economic loss, it is a symbol of the country's fractured state. For many Libyans, the gold represents a lost opportunity to rebuild their nation after decades of dictatorship. If recovered, the reserves could provide a crucial boost to the country's struggling economy, funding infrastructure projects, education, and healthcare. But without a stable and unified government, the chances of recovery remain slim. To this day, the mystery of Libya's missing gold reserves remains unsolved. While some of the gold may have been smuggled out of the country, much of it could still be hidden within Libya's borders, waiting to be discovered. The story is a reminder of how greed, corruption, and political instability can rob a nation of its wealth and its future. The fate of Libya's gold is a cautionary tale for other nations. It highlights the importance of transparency, accountability, and strong institutions in safeguarding national assets. In a world where power and wealth often go hand in hand, the disappearance of billions of dollars worth of gold serves as a stark warning of what can happen when those in charge fail to act in the best interests of their people. For now, the mystery endures, a tantalizing puzzle that continues to captivate the imagination of investigators, treasure hunters, and conspiracy theorists alike. And as Libya struggles to find its footing in the wake of years of conflict, the search for the missing gold remains a symbol of the nation's broader quest for justice, stability, and a brighter future.